Hey guys! Ever wonder what it takes to stay in good shape as you get older? I've noticed that when I meet people who are in their later years and still going strong, it's almost always because they're active. And you might have even heard of the blue zones. National Geographic did this huge study looking at groups of people around the world who regularly live to be very old. They even wrote a book about it called The Blue Zones. And the three main groups they looked at were the Okinawans, who are a Japanese group living on an island, I think. And they commonly lived well into their hundreds. But it wasn't just about living a long time. It was about having a good quality of life. These people were still active and engaged, even when they were 100 years old. Now think about this. Imagine being in your late 50s or 60s, and you start thinking about how much time you might have left after you turn 70. Each year starts to feel more special, right? And your body might already be giving you little clues about how long you might live. Some people in their 70s are still super lively and full of energy, while others might be facing more health problems and feeling tired all the time. So, what makes the difference? It often comes down to a few important signs, small but meaningful hints that can tell you something about your future. In this video, we're going to look at 8 signs that can suggest how long you might live after you turn 70. These aren't just guesses. They're based on what researchers and doctors have seen in people who live long and healthy lives. By the end of this video, you'll know what to watch for in your own health and habits, and even more importantly, you'll discover some ways you can actually improve your chances of living longer and healthier. So stick with us until the end, because you might be missing some small details that could really affect your future. Before we jump in, tell me in the comments where you're watching from and what health topic you'd like to see in our next video. Also, as a special thank you for joining us today, we're giving away 100 free copies of Barbara's best-selling book to our subscribers. So if you haven't already, make sure to hit that subscribe button and leave a comment telling us why you'd love to win Barbara's book. We actually met this young couple once. How old were they? She was 78 and he was 82. And they looked great. Now, at 78, you might have a few wrinkles, and that's totally normal, but her forehead and cheeks were hardly lined at all. You know, she had a few wrinkles around her eyes, but that was about it. And guess what? They swim 2 kilometers at Coffs Harbour Beach every morning, winter and summer. That's halfway down the east coast of Australia. I said, no wonder you guys look so good. They didn't even realize that they were causing their bodies to release this human growth hormone every morning as they did their 2-kilometer swim. Okay, let's talk about the power of balance. Can you stand on one leg? Let's start with something you might not expect. Your ability to stand on one leg. It sounds really simple, but this little test can actually tell you a lot about your future health. Researchers have found that balance is one of the strongest predictors of how long someone will live. People in their 70s and beyond who can stand on one leg for at least 10 seconds tend to live longer and have healthier lives. On the other hand, those who have trouble with their balance are more likely to fall, get injured, and even experience problems with their thinking. Think about these two guys, Frank and Henry. They're both in their early 70s. Frank is really active and fit. He walks every day, does yoga, and can easily lift one foot off the ground without wobbling at all. Henry, though, hasn't really paid much attention to his balance. When he tries to stand on one leg, he almost immediately loses his footing and has to grab onto something to keep from falling. What Henry might not realize is that this isn't just a normal sign of aging. It could be a red flag. Poor balance can mean that your muscles are getting weaker, your coordination is declining, and it might even be an early sign of brain health issues. Balance isn't just about being able to stand up straight. It's actually a reflection of your overall health. When your balance is good, it means your muscles, your nervous system, and your brain are all working together effectively. But when it starts to get worse, it can signal deeper problems. For example, if you find yourself stumbling a lot or feeling unsteady when you turn quickly, that could be a sign of muscle weakness or even some early changes in your brain. The good news is that you can actually improve your balance. Simple exercises like standing on one foot for a few seconds each day, walking heel to toe, or practicing Tai Chi can make a big difference. These activities not only make your legs stronger, but also improve your coordination and how well your brain works. Try this test right now. Stand up and lift one foot off the ground. Can you hold it for 10 seconds? If not, don't panic. But don't ignore it either. Working on your balance today could mean a stronger and more stable future for you. Remember, balance isn't just about avoiding falls. It's about keeping your independence and having a good quality of life as you get older. So take a moment to see where you stand, literally. The more you work on your balance now, the more confident and capable you'll feel in the years to come. Even just doing this little health bounce here, I can feel my second heart, which are my calf muscles, working. Some people say, I'm not going to get on that rebounder because I'm not very balanced. Well, guess how you get better balance? By rebounding. If you're not used to it, you might feel a little wobbly at first, but the more you do it, the more you'll notice your balance improving. Your balance is controlled by the bottom of your feet and by these tiny mechanisms in your ears. And rebounding actually helps to reset those tiny mechanisms in your ears and the feeling in the soles of your feet. Next up, the strength of your handshake, your grip strength. You might not think much about how strong your handshake is, but it's actually one of the clearest signs of overall health in older adults. A firm grip usually means you have strong muscles, good blood flow, and a healthy nervous system. On the other hand, a weak grip can be a warning sign that you're losing muscle, becoming frail, and might even have a higher risk of other health problems. Let's meet two women, Annie and Evelyn. They're both 78 years old. Annie has always been active. She does light weightlifting, stays busy with chores around the house, and never has trouble with things like opening jars or carrying groceries. Evelyn, though, has noticed that her grip just isn't as strong as it used to be. Simple things like holding a heavy bag or twisting the lid off a jar have become difficult for her. She just thinks it's part of getting older, but what she might not realize is that her weakening grip could be a sign that she's losing muscle mass, which can lead to frailty, falls, and even a shorter life expectancy. Grip strength is more than just how strong your hand muscles are. It's actually a window into your overall physical health. Studies have shown that people with stronger grips tend to have better heart health, lower rates of long-term diseases, and even a lower risk of problems with their thinking. On the flip side, a weak grip can be an early warning sign of sarcopenia, which is the age-related loss of muscle mass. This can make everyday tasks much harder and increase your risk of getting injured. The good news is that you can actually rebuild your grip strength. Simple exercises like squeezing a stress ball, using hand grippers, or even just carrying light weights can help. These activities not only make your hands stronger, but can also improve your blood flow and coordination. If you've noticed that your handshake feels weaker than it used to, or that everyday tasks are becoming harder for your hands, don't ignore it. Start doing some grip strengthening exercises today. A strong grip now could mean a stronger and more independent future for you. Remember, your hands are a reflection of how healthy your muscles are overall. The stronger they are, the more resilient your body will be as you get older. I actually went to New Zealand once, and the lady I was staying with said to me, "I do a 5-kilometer walk every morning. Would you like to join me?" Through the forest, I said I would love to. I didn't have to get the kids up. I didn't have to do the laundry. I didn't have to make breakfast because I still had a few teenagers at home back then. Well, after about 3 kilometers, I could hardly keep up with her. And she was twice my size. 10 years younger, though. The next day when I woke up, "Oh, I could hardly move. I could hardly move." She said, "Are you coming, Barbara?" And I said, "Yeah, sure. How can I not go? I'm the health teacher. I'm in their town giving health lectures." Anyway, I definitely couldn't keep up with her that morning. And every time she turned around, she said, "You going?" Yeah, fine, fine. "Oh dear, did it hurt?" "It hurt very much, yeah." Okay, let's talk about the speed of your walk. Believe it or not, how fast you walk is actually one of the most reliable signs of how long you might live after you turn 70. Studies have shown that people in their 70s and beyond who can keep up a steady, brisk walking pace tend to live longer than those who slow down a lot. Your walking speed is actually connected to your overall health, how strong your muscles are, how well your heart and blood vessels are working, and even how healthy your brain is. Think about these two women, Rose and Clara, who are both 75 years old. Rose walks every morning, keeps a good pace, and doesn't have trouble with stairs or walking on uneven ground. Her movements look smooth and confident. Clara, on the other hand, has slowed down quite a bit over the years. She has to take breaks, often feels unsteady on her feet, and struggles to keep up with other people. While Rose's walking speed suggests that her body is still functioning well, Clara's slower pace could be a sign of underlying health issues, like muscle weakness, poor blood flow, or even some early problems with her brain. Walking speed isn't just about getting from one place to another. It's actually a reflection of how energetic and healthy you are overall. When you walk briskly, it means your heart, lungs, and muscles are all working efficiently together. But when your pace slows down, it can indicate that your body is having trouble keeping up. For example, if you find yourself needing to stop frequently to catch your breath after just short walks, that could be a sign that your heart health or your muscle strength is declining. The good news is that you can often improve your walking speed. Try to take more walks, even if they're just short ones to start. Gradually try to increase your pace and how far you walk. If you've noticed yourself slowing down, don't ignore it. How fast you move through life might actually tell you a lot about how long you'll keep moving at all. And remember, walking isn't just good for your body, it's also great for your mind. Regular walks can lift your mood, improve your memory, and even lower your risk of getting certain long-term diseases. So lace up your shoes and get moving. Your future self will thank you for it. This also helps explain why so many people aren't as well as they could be. It also helps explain why we see a lot of mental health issues today and why people seem to be aging way too fast. It has a lot to do with sleep. Now, there are definitely things that can mess up your sleep. If you wake up in the middle of the night and can't go back to sleep, the worst thing you can do is look at your phone. Because remember what those devices give off? Blue light. Yes, it's a different kind of light than sunlight, so you won't get the same benefits as being outside. But it's similar enough to send a message to your brain that it's daytime and you should wake up. You'll probably have a really hard time falling back to sleep after you've looked at your phone. Let's talk about the quality of your sleep, your sleeping patterns. Sleep is so much more than just resting. It's the time when your body repairs itself, strengthens your immune system, and even clears out toxins from your brain. How well you sleep at night can actually say a lot about how long you might live. People over 70 who consistently get good, high-quality sleep tend to live longer and healthier lives. On the other hand, poor sleep has been linked to problems with memory, heart disease, and a weaker immune system. Let's think about two guys, Walter and George, who are both in their mid-70s. Walter has a regular bedtime routine, sleeps for about 7 hours every night, and wakes up feeling refreshed and ready to go. George, though, has a lot of trouble sleeping. He tosses and turns all night, wakes up multiple times, and often feels completely exhausted in the morning. Over time, Walter's body continues to function well, while George might start experiencing things like brain fog, constant tiredness, and even changes in his blood pressure, all of which can be linked to his poor sleep quality. Sleep isn't just about how many hours you spend in bed, it's about the quality of that sleep. Even if you're in bed for 8 hours, if you wake up a lot or have trouble falling asleep, it can mess up your body's natural repair processes. Poor sleep can be caused by a lot of different things, including stress, a bad diet, not getting enough physical activity, or even some health conditions you might not know about, like sleep apnea. The good news is that you can often improve your sleep. Try to cut down on screen time before bed, stick to a regular sleep schedule, get some natural sunlight in the morning, and avoid eating heavy meals late at night. Remember, sleep isn't just about feeling rested, it's about keeping your body and mind working at their best. Next up, the depth of your relationships, your social connections. Your relationships with other people are actually more important than you might think. The strength of your social connections can be one of the most telling signs of how long you might live after you turn 70. Studies have shown that people who have strong social ties, whether it's through friendships, family, or being involved in their community, tend to live longer and healthier lives. Loneliness, on the other hand, has been linked to a higher risk of heart disease, feeling down, problems with thinking, and even an earlier death. Let's consider two women, Alice and Betty, who are both 77 years old. Alice has a really active social life. She stays in touch with her friends, is part of a book club, and loves spending time with her grandchildren. She laughs a lot and feels deeply connected to the people around her. Betty, though, spends most of her time alone. She's lost touch with many of her friends over the years and doesn't often reach out to her family. As the months go by, she starts feeling more and more isolated. Her mood gets worse, and her overall health begins to suffer. Human connection is more than just about having emotional support. It actually plays a direct role in your physical health. When you interact with others, your brain releases chemicals like oxytocin and serotonin, which can reduce stress and make you feel good. On the other hand, loneliness can actually cause inflammation in your body, and inflammation has been linked to almost every major disease that comes with age. If you've been pulling away from social activities, it's time to make a change. Even small efforts like calling an old friend or joining a group that does something you enjoy can make a big difference. The relationships you build and nurture today don't just bring you happiness, they can actually help you stay healthier and live. Let's talk about the sharpness of your mind, your cognitive health. Your brain is like the control center for your whole body, and how healthy it is a really important sign of how long and how well you'll live. People who keep their minds sharp and active in their 70s and beyond tend to live longer and have healthier lives. On the other hand, those who start to have problems with their memory, get confused easily, or have trouble concentrating might be at a higher risk for conditions like dementia or Alzheimer's disease. Let's think about two men, Oliver and James, who are both 75 years old. Oliver keeps his mind active by reading every day, doing puzzles, and even learning new things like how to play the piano. He enjoys challenging his brain and feels sharp, focused, and engaged. James, though, has stopped doing things that keep his mind active. He spends most of his time watching TV and doesn't really challenge his brain much. Over time, he starts forgetting names, misplacing things, and having trouble following conversations. Keeping your brain sharp isn't just about avoiding memory loss. It's also about keeping your independence and having a good quality of life. The good news is that you can take steps to protect and improve your brain health. Activities like reading, learning new skills, playing brain games like Sudoku or crosswords, or even just socializing with others can really stimulate your brain and keep it functioning at its best. But what I'm going to show you today is how your brain really never has to get worse. God never meant for the brain to deteriorate. Yes, your body will eventually age, but you can slow that down. But your brain really doesn't have to get worse. Isn't that wonderful news? It's wonderful news because it means everyone watching this, your brains don't have to deteriorate. But it's also a little sad because we know so many people whose brains are deteriorating. The current numbers in Australia are that 1,700 cases of dementia are being diagnosed every week. That's pretty scary, isn't it? If you can't learn something new, it's time to learn. Whether you're 9 or 90, got that? I love the story of the 92-year-old man who learned to play the piano. Most people in their later years find it hard to learn new things because they might be dehydrated, drinking too much coffee, going to bed too late, or not getting enough exercise. But exercise has nothing to do with age. If you don't use your body, you will lose the strength of it. Let's talk about stress management. How you deal with stress after you turn 60 or 70 can actually tell you a lot about how long you might live. Chronic stress doesn't just affect your mood. It can weaken your immune system, raise your risk of heart disease, and even make you age faster. On the other hand, people who are good at managing stress tend to stay healthier, more active, and mentally sharp well into their later years. Think about these two women, Kate and Amy, who are both 77 years old. Kate faces challenges just like anyone else: unexpected bills, health scares, family issues. But she's learned to handle them with a calm and steady approach. She practices deep breathing, makes sure to stay connected with her friends, and doesn't dwell on problems longer than she needs to. Amy, though, tends to hold on to stress. She constantly worries about things she can't control, feels overwhelmed by even small frustrations, and often gets stuck in negative thought patterns. Over time, this constant stress takes a toll on her body. Her blood pressure goes up, she has trouble sleeping, and her energy levels drop. If you often feel tense, irritable, or emotionally drained, please don't ignore it. Finding healthy ways to manage stress, whether it's through mindfulness, exercise, deep breathing, or even just finding things that make you laugh, can actually add years to your life. Her emotions just go down that panic pathway. She doesn't even realize what's happening. And then, as the days go by, she starts to panic more and more, even at little things that don't seem like a big deal. Her husband takes her to the doctor, who sends her to a psychiatrist. The psychiatrist says, "We found the cause of all your problems. You get panic attacks. You'll need to be on medication, probably for the rest of your life." Whoosh! When she goes home, her mother asks, "What did he say?" She says, "He said I get panic attacks." What does that do to that mental pathway? It puts a little bit of glue in there, making it stronger. "He said I'll be on panic attack medication for the rest of my life." Well, you see, the more you say it, the more you think it, the more you go there in your mind, the stronger those pathways in your brain get. It reminds me of that old saying that repetition deepens the impression, and repetition is the mother of retention. Going over something again and again makes it stick. Finally, let's talk about the weight of your future. Why your diet and weight really matter. Keeping a healthy weight and eating a good diet are so important for living a long and healthy life, especially as you get older. Being overweight puts extra strain on your joints, which can lead to pain and conditions like osteoarthritis. It also increases your risk for heart disease, diabetes, and other long-term illnesses. Eating a balanced diet that's full of whole foods, fruits, vegetables, lean proteins, and healthy fats can help you manage your weight, reduce inflammation in your body, and prevent disease. For example, someone who eats nutrient-rich meals is likely to stay more energetic and healthy, while relying on processed foods can lead to fatigue and health problems. Even making small changes to your diet, like adding more vegetables to your meals or cutting back on sugary snacks, can make a big difference over time. Your weight also affects how much pain you might feel, as extra weight puts more stress on your joints and can make inflammation worse. Losing just 5 to 10% of your body weight if you're overweight can actually ease pain and improve your ability to move around. Staying hydrated, eating mindfully, paying attention to when you're full, and incorporating gentle exercises like walking or yoga can all support healthy weight management and overall health. By making gradual, sustainable changes to your diet and lifestyle, you can lower your risk of disease, manage pain better, and stay independent for longer. Your weight and diet are powerful tools. Use them to build a healthier and more vibrant future for yourself. Start today, and your body will thank you for years to come. Remember, it's not about being perfect all the time, it's about making progress. Small, consistent steps can lead to lasting improvements. So, in conclusion, your future health is really in your hands. Now that we've explored these 8 signs, take a moment to think about them. Are you living with vitality and energy? Or have you noticed some small changes that might be nudging you towards a healthier path? The great thing is, it's never too late to take control. Your future isn't set in stone. It's shaped by the choices you make today. Whether it's working on your balance, strengthening your grip, or nourishing your body with good food, every little step you take matters. Think about this. What if making some small changes today could add not just years to your life, but more life to your years? What if taking care of your health now meant more moments with the people you love and more joy in the years to come? The power to make your future brighter lies right in your hands. Start with a walk, a healthy meal, or even just a moment of quiet mindfulness. These small actions can create big changes over time. Living a long life isn't just about reaching a certain age. It's about thriving at every stage. It's about waking up feeling strong, energized, and ready to embrace whatever the day brings. So ask yourself, what's one thing you can do today to invest in your health? Every effort counts. The journey to a longer, healthier life begins with a single step. Take that step today. The time to start is now. And that's it for today, guys. Thank you for joining us. If you have any questions or need more advice, please drop them in the comments below. Remember to like this video and subscribe to our channel for more valuable health tips. And as always, stay informed, stay healthy.